Hello, justtwogood here, and I just gotta talk to you all about Doctor Strange 2, which I saw last night. First, let me do a quick non-spoiler thoughts. This was my favorite Marvel movie since Endgame, honestly. This maybe even is better than Endgame. I'm not sure. I'd be quicker to rewatch this one. This is the first Marvel Cinematic Universe movie directed by Sam Raimi, who is a director who's done many iconic horror movies like Evil Dead, as well as the original Spider-Man trilogy starring Tobey Maguire. I love those old Spidey movies, yet I still have to get around to some of his classics. I haven't seen the Evil Dead films, but I do really enjoy Drag Me to Hell. I loved his writing in the Hudsucker Proxy with the Coens. Keep in mind, Sam Raimi did not write this film. I think it does show. I think what makes this movie, the Multiverse of Madness, better than some of the recent Marvel movies is that the film actually has its own personality. My problem with many recent Marvel Studios films is that all of these movies blend together visually and thematically. You know, there's an adventure with a big villain, the adventure not really using the medium of film to its limits, with some stale direction, overdone CGI, boring camera work, resulting in environments which don't feel real with the CGI and threats which feel disposable with the CGI. However, with the Multiverse of Madness, it's not like this is devoid of CGI because it's still a very CGI heavy film, but the Sam Raimi influence is clear. The camera work is actually interesting, there's a lot of movement, it plays with the images in different formats and mediums to kind of drive to the madness of the situation. It's better than the standard flat MCU direction I'd expect. Another thing I really liked about the movie is that the movie is more gruesome than other Marvel movies. I was quite surprised. There are segments of this film which are like straight out of a fun horror movie, basically what I'd imagine the Evil Dead 2 to be like. However, while the film tone and technicality surprised me, I think the plot is still the weakest part. The whole defending a new hero thing felt like a mere setup for the new character of America Chavez. However, in regards to the plot, I appreciated how it began, the subversion of a final battle, and the conclusion of the film. At the moment, I'd rate the movie a 7 out of 10. Alright, let's get to the nitty gritty of spoilers. If you haven't seen Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, click away right now. I'm warning you, there's some huge spoilers in this movie. Are you ready? Okay. Where do I begin? The Marvel Illuminati showing up. I mean, the trailer spoiled the Professor X cameo, played by Patrick Stewart, which one thing I liked is that they were not afraid to kill characters off. Like, I wasn't expecting them to get rid of Xavier so soon. It adds stakes though. Mr. Fantastic gets wrecked. Yeah, a huge surprise. The fan casting of all these years were actually true. John Krasinski plays Mr. Fantastic in this movie, but gets brutally murdered. This is in a different universe though, so I'm sure we'll get a younger John Krasinski or something in a future movie to get that Reed Richards everybody's wanted. There's a friggin' Inhuman on the Illuminati panel, and this is played by the same actor from The Failure of a Show. The character is Black Bolt. I'm just kind of amazed they referenced Inhumans, which seems like something Marvel wants to forget. And oh my gosh, Black Bolt gets one of the most gruesome deaths in a Marvel movie. I mean, this movie has so many gruesome deaths, and like that's something I've wanted from Marvel in a while, because you have these people saving the world, killing other people, but it never reaches that level of gruesomeness that it feels like there's stakes that one of these main characters can actually die. And yeah, sure, these were just cameos with Black Bolt and Mr. Fantastic and Professor Xavier, but still, it's really interesting that they killed off these cameos of these very iconic characters. It was also surprising to see the live-action Captain Carter and Maria Rambeau Captain Marvel. I also love the stuff they did with zombie Doctor Strange, have him possessed with this disgusting corpse and then have the climax involve this ugly zombie Doctor Strange is daring. But those undead spirits or whatever, those were freaking awesome. I love that effect. I don't know if they were like stop motioned or green screen, and so many Marvel movies have these final epic battles, or they'll do where they have like an evil version of the hero and then the good version of the hero and they'll face off. And it just comes off as boring. However, with the Multiverse of Madness, the big epic battles are in the first act. And then for some poignant battles of the second and third act, they actually do some really clever things. Like, I love this music battle between Sinister Strange and Doctor Strange. I do wish that scene just had a little bit more tuning with the actual score of the movie. Like, it feels like such a great idea, and they kind of have some parts where the music notes will link up with the score, but it felt like they could just do a little bit more with that scene. But it was still a great battle scene that felt very creative. Also, the music of this movie is done by Danny Elfman of Oingo Boingo. He always does great scores. I will say there's no tracks in this specific soundtrack that stood out to me, but as a whole, the soundtrack sounded good. It matched that kind of fun, spooky horror tone that the movie gave off. Now, the post-credits scene had Charlize Theron having a new character. And I was like, whatever. We already had America Chavez as a setup of this new character in the Marvel Universe. To have this post-credit scene of Charlize Theron, I didn't really care about that. I also do wish the film traveled more into the multiverses. Like, there's this incredible sequence when they're first launched through the multiverses, and it's like for like a minute of just going through all these different. I love that, but we only end up going to like, I don't know, maybe like 3 multiverses, and the multiverses they go to aren't the most crazy and interesting and fun that I would have hoped from the title. But still, I love what they do with this multiverse theory, with the Illuminati stuff. Like, that stuff was really fun. Oh, and I like that the film didn't abandon the Doctor Strange cast. Like, I was kind of worried that they would just throw away Michael Stuhlbarg and Rachel McAdams, but Michael Stuhlbarg makes a cameo here, I would say, and I liked his scene, and then I also liked what they did with Rachel McAdams' role, which wasn't necessary, but it was actually really fun and had meaning to the personal story of Doctor Strange. And then that third eye resolution, man, I just hope that Doctor Strange continues to have that third eye, but it seems like it's something that will continue to be concealed or something like that. Though, I get it. I guess people don't want to see somebody with like 3 eyes as like the main character, but dang it, I want to see that. Anyways, now early rumors said this movie would have Tom Cruise as Iron Man, as well as Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man, and all of that was BS. It is kind of weird that there's no reference to the Maguire-verse, even though Sam Raimi is directing this. And I mean, this movie already has enough fan service, it's not a big deal. We got enough of that in No Way Home. Regardless, for the question of what Lego sets they should make with this, honestly, I don't need them to make any more Lego sets with this movie. I just want characters from the movie. I want a Mr. Fantastic. And oh my gosh, Lego will never give us X-Men movie characters, but I've wanted them for years because I used to love the X-Men movies, like, growing up. Whatever. Regardless, I would have loved a CMF series, is what I'm trying to say here. Imagine if they just did a CMF series for every Marvel movie. Oh man. Still, what we got of just this one set feels so underwhelming. I do love this set though. I do think that Sanctum Sanctorum set, which is rumored and everything, will give us more of a taste, where it is rumored to have Sinister Strange and Zombie Doctor Strange. But with the recent rumors of the Sanctum Sanctorum direct-to-consumer set being a mix of Infinity War and Multiverse of Madness, it does actually kind of make sense that it's not solely based on Multiverse of Madness, because the actual Sanctum Sanctorum doesn't appear too much in this movie. Different versions of it actually appear longer than the initial version we all know and love. Regardless, that's my thoughts on the Multiverse of Madness. Let me know what you guys thought of the movie in the comments below. Feel free to spoil stuff. And let me know which sets you would like to see if they were going to make more sets based off of this movie. Subscribe for more LEGO Marvel content. Check out Just2Film, where I post movie reviews. We're on a little bit of a break there, but there should be new reviews later this month. Or if you want new movie reviews daily from me, check out my Letterboxd account. That's Just2Good on Letterboxd. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out.